fun. And I learned that I'm old enough to do any ride I want by my own now. So that comes in handy when your two sisters are scared of roller coasters.
So you got to ride a lot of rides. So you've done Legoland and Disney already. That's so fun. So what's coming up? What are you going to be doing today?
Legoland right after school.
Wow, that sounds so fun. Josiah, how was your weekend, bud?
It was good. And speaking of Legoland, I've been there like I don't know what year, maybe 2018 or 2016. But it was really fun, and we saw a movie there.
So are there rides to go on when you go to Legoland?
Yes, a whole bunch.
Oh. I've never been, so I just have kind of pictures in my mind of what it would be like. Alexander, how was your weekend?
Good, but what I'm excited to tell you is that on this Saturday, on May 1st to May 2nd, Sunday, I'm going to my first tennis tournament.
Oh, that's great, Alexander. Are you preparing for it already? Doing a lot of practice?
Yep, yesterday they signed me up on Saturday. So yesterday we're gonna go play every day. And I think after my call I'm gonna go to like at 8:30, at 11 I have my own class till 12.
Oh, that's really fun. Well, I hope that you do well, Alexander, and you'll have to update us a little closer to the date and then afterwards how it goes. Arshab, how was your weekend?
It was good. On Saturday, we had taekwondo practice, me and my brother. And then after taekwondo practice, we went to a restaurant. And then we went home and then just stayed there. And then I played with my friends outside after we got from the restaurant. And on Sunday, we just hung around in our house.
Yeah, that sounds like a great weekend.
On Wednesday, it's the 28th, so it's my brother's birthday.
That's right, and Aryansh's birthday too. Aryansh, are you celebrating it on Wednesday, or are you going to celebrate more like on the weekend?
Definitely not on the weekend.
Okay.
Because then it's like my birthday's on May 1st, and which is not true.
Good point.
And that's when the next week is.
So you'll celebrate on your birthday. Harika, how was your weekend?
Good. And also, when we were in Tampa, Florida, we used to live there. We used to go to Legoland every single weekend, right?
Wow. So you had like a season pass.
Yeah, it was actually very cool. But since I was just a kid, I couldn't go on the big rides. So I was upset, and my sister went on the big rides.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get a chance to go back and then you can ride all of the same rides that your sister did.
Yeah, and also, day before yesterday, this is my sister's old watch, but since she got a new watch, I get to keep this one.
Very cool. Yes, Tig?
I think one of my favorite things about Legoland is their new roller coaster. It's a dinosaur-themed one, and it's great. It's so much fun.
That sounds great. So you'll go back there today. Are you going to try to ride some of the same rides, or are there new things that you didn't get to before?
New things, probably.
Okay.
Some of the old things. They're fun too.
Mm-hmm. I think that we've got everybody now. Emma is not going to be joining us because her sister is in a tennis tournament. Speaking of tennis tournaments. So she was doing really well, and it's continuing for her. Samhita, last comment from you, and then we'll get started on our Pledge of Allegiance.
So yesterday, we went to Rashi's house for this party. So she had this housewarming because they didn't do it earlier because of coronavirus. So we went to this housewarming party, and there were about 10 families there. 10 families, which is a 10 of
Did you know many of the people?
No. I only knew Rashi, Ahana, who's also in the 11:30 class.
Yeah, very nice.
I knew
Okay.
her.
Rishith, it looks like you don't have your uniform shirt on. Would you change into your uniform shirt before the class starts? Rishith, would you change into your uniform shirt before class starts?
And Miss Gardner, a boy dropped his cupcake in his pants, and then everyone else kept saying that it looked like he pooped, which is gross.
Oh, poor guy. That is rough. Okay. Well, let's get started on the Pledge of Allegiance and school motto. Kruthi, would you like to lead us today?
And I have one thing to share. So this morning, my brother had math test, and so I got to drop
That's right. I saw some kindergartners.
And whenever he had to get down, he was just frozen. He was just sitting like this. And he wouldn't get off, so we told him that once you come back, we'll give him some cookies. And he's like, ooh, interesting.
Okay, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance now.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor. I will honor those things that are true. Respect. I will respect to others at all times. Service. I will do good things for others without being asked. Excellence. I will strive for excellence in all things. Perseverance. I will fulfill commitments and not give up or act on discouragement.
Thank you. Everyone, please join me for a moment of silence, please. Okay, well, let's start some phonogram and spelling review. Marcus, I'm glad to see that your camera's working now. That's great that your parents were able to help out with that, or maybe you figured it out. Can everyone take out their whiteboard? Get ready for phonogram review?
Scout just made a weird noise.
Please write the phonogram A to letter A that we do use at the end of English words. And hold it up when you're done, everyone. Thank you, Rishith. We're doing some phonogram practice, Rishith. Would you take out your whiteboard and marker? Here's A to letter A that we do use at the end of English words. Next, please write A to letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. Marcus, if you're ever unsure about a phonogram, you can write it once I hold it up. And still try to think through A to letter A. Oh, we've done that one. What would make an A sound? Here's a two-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. Next up, let's do a E that we do use at the end of English words. This one. And a E that we do not use at the end of English words. Like in rain. Like horse reins. Next up, please write the phonogram oi. Oi that we do use at the end of English words. Oi. Like oi, the expression. Or toy. Next up, oi that we do not use at the end of English words, like toil or foil. Oi that we do not use at the end of English words. Okay, that is all of them. Saha Nasri, would you go through each one and say it for us? Can you unmute and try your best? I'll help you if you get stuck.
A, two-letter A that we use at the end of English words. A, two-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. A, E that we do use at the end of English words, and A, E that we do not use at the end of English words. Oi that we do use at the end of English words, and oi that we do not use at the end of English words.
Way to go, Saha Nasri. Let's give her a hand. That was perfect. Well done, sweetheart. Okay, let's move on to some spelling words to review. These are going to be on the quiz on Friday. Starting with recommend. We had the word commend, which means to praise. Recommend means like you're telling somebody else how good something is. Like, kind of like you're praising it again, not just to yourself, but to somebody else. Recommend. We should be marking these words too. It's going to help you remember the spelling of it, as we're still not to mastery with these words yet. Marcus, the word is recommend. Would you please write recommend? Recommend. Okay, just like in the word commend, there's a double M. And we're just adding the prefix re in front of it. Excellent job if you got that right. Yes, Marcus? You have a question?
I'm happy I'm not doing testing because we already did it.
I know, it is a good
My
feeling.
brother's
Have
doing
it out.
testing.
I know, I'm grateful that you guys are done with it. You don't have to think about it anymore. Okay, next word, resemble. Resemble. Like my younger sister resembles her aunt. Resemble. Resemble. Some people say that people's dogs resemble their owners. I don't think that's very true, but some people say that. Resemble. Okay, now turning it into a noun, we say resemblance. Now, usually, whether it's an ence or an ants ending has to do with what letters are used earlier in the word. This is different. We're going to use the ants suffix resemblance, even though we have e's earlier in the word, mainly. So we think to spell resemblance. Resemblance. Do any of you have a resemblance to your parents, do you think? Do some of you get told that you look more like one parent versus the other? Tig, do you look more like your mom or dad, would you say?
Dad, I show a spooky resemblance to him.
Really? Have you seen pictures from when he was like your age? Is it pretty similar, especially with that?
Sort of. But especially now, it's insane.
Oh, I don't think I've seen your dad, so I'm taking your word for it. Alina, do you look more like your mom or dad? Oh, actually, I've seen your dad kind of in the background a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
He
I
looks like
was
this, but with more of me.
well, I definitely look more like my mom.
So-
Well, people always like last year in parents teacher conferences when I was in second grade, when my mama was coming to the parents teacher conference meeting, my last teacher said, "Oh, you must." My mom told me that you must be Alina's mom. You look just like hers.
Yeah, that's crazy when some people can just recognize immediately whose parent it is because it's such a strong resemblance.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the next word. Seize. Like, we're to seize Mr. Bones. Take it forcefully. Seize. Kruthi, who do you resemble more?
Well, a lot of people say my mom, but also a lot of people say my dad. But
I know,
so,
I can kind of see a resemblance with both of your parents.
yeah,
pretty well,
so
actually.
I don't really know. I mean, it could be both. I don't really have a strong resemblance for like exactly my mom or my dad. Like it's both. I'm mixed.
I think it's very well mixed. I agree with that. Alexander? I thought the same thing during parent-teacher conferences.
It's my dad. Do you want to know how our resemblance is? Like, our eyes is the same color, and guess what? You've seen my dad before, right?
I have. I think you do resemble each. And the blonde hair.
Little. My age.
Oh, that's so fun. I know. I love seeing pictures when parents are little and there's such a strong resemblance, especially there. Okay, here's the word seize. The next one is seizure. Seizure, which is, like a problem with the nervous system. You kind of lose control of some of your body. Seizure. Arianch? Marcus, make sure you're writing each word as we say it. The word I just said to write was seizure. Yes, Arianch?
I resemble with two people in my family. My brother, because I look the same thing as my brother.
Really,
And
like
then
your
my
baby
dad.
pictures are very similar?
And my dad too.
Yeah, I can definitely see a resemblance with your dad.
Except my dad wears glasses and I don't.
Yeah. Here's seizure. The Z makes a Z sound when it's followed by a U. Seizure. And let's do one more word. Superintendent. Superintendent. Okay. Samhiti will be the last one to share. Marcus, superintendent. That's the word we're writing.
Really? I think I look like a mix between my mom and my dad.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have my mom's eyes because hers are kind of black like mine. And pretty sure I have my dad's, like, don't know. But I'm pretty sure people always say, like, you look like your dad and mom.
Yeah, usually people are a pretty strong mix between the two, but sometimes it's a much, much stronger with one. So, superintendent, that's our last word for review. Check that your spelling matches mine. Great job, Marcus. Great job, Arianch. Great job, Kriti and Samhita. Let me see everybody's boards. Perfect, Sahanasri. Okay, once you're done with that, let's get our things out for a new spelling lesson. Okay. Does everybody have their binder ready to go for our new spelling lesson? Okay, as we're getting our things out, I want to go over the new poem that we're going to do for the week, which is one we will do recitations of next week. The poem When Earth Becomes an It, we didn't do recitations of, we just read and practiced a little bit, but this one we are going to do our normal recitations of. So I'll get this posted in Bright Thinker soon. The Happy Farmer goes like this. As you might imagine, it's all about farm life. Let the mighty and great roll in splendor and state. I envy them not, I declare it. I eat my own lamb, my own chicken and ham. I shear my own sheep, and I wear it. I have lawns and green bowers, fresh fruits and fine flowers. The lark is my bright morning charmer. So God bless the plow in the future as now. A health and long life to the farmer. The Happy Farmer. Now, we don't know actually the name of this poet who it's credited to, so we don't have anything to say other than the title for this one. Do you see some things that we've talked about in Farmer Boy in this poem? Dikshita?
They eat my own chicken and ham. Main thing.
That's right. He's proud of the fact that he raises these animals that he later has for his own food. He's proud of that. Rishith?
I shear my own sheep and I shear my own sheep. Only that line.
Yeah, shear my own sheep and wear it. That means they take the wool off the sheep and then they use it for their own clothing. That's also something to be proud of. To make your own clothing from start to finish. Actually raising the animal, making cloth out of it, making clothing out of it. That's very cool. And we'll hear quite a bit in the last chapter that's going to go along with this as well. So that's our new poem, The Happy Farmer. Okay, but let's get started on our spelling lesson. Our first word for today actually goes with our honor code. Now, we know we will honor those things which are good, true, and beautiful, show respect to others at all times. Service means doing good things for others without being asked. We'll strive for excellence in all things, and perseverance. I will fulfill commitments and not give up or act on discouragement. Our first spelling word today is not going to be perseverance as a noun. We're going to turn it into a verb. Alexander, do you know what it would be if we turned that into a verb?
I have an idea, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong.
Well, just take off the ants part of the word, not persevere, ants, but
Persevere.
yeah, that's it. Persevere. So to persevere means to fulfill commitments, not give up or act on discouragement. This is very similar to what Almanzo really showed in our recent chapter about wood hauling. Do you guys remember how Almanzo persevered despite the challenges of hauling those huge logs? You guys remember that? Do you remember how he was trying to haul those huge logs onto that sled that the oxen were pulling, and one fell on him? And then the oxen kind of veered off the side of the road. They tipped over and he got right back up. And then it happened again where they tipped over on the side of the road and they got back up. So he was hurt, he was tired, he was frustrated, but Almanza did not give up. That is a perfect example of this. Persevere. Okay, sound it out with me, please. Persevere. 3 syllables. Let's try that again. Persevere. 3 syllables. In the first syllable, what are the sounds you hear? P, 2 sounds. The is earthier of her. Next syllable, s, v, 3 sounds. Basic code. And finally, e, 2 sounds. E says its name because of a silent final E, job 1. Every vowel in this word is an E, okay? Persevere. Pick up your pencil and write it, please. Persevere. And just like Alina, hold it up when you're done. Great job, Alina. Persevere. You all have shown perseverance doing virtual learning this year, still progressing and learning well, and you're going to be ready for 4th grade, even with coronavirus and staying at home and not being at school with your friends and having to create your own schedule and doing things that kind of some grown-ups do. You guys have really shown perseverance. Okay, let's check our spelling. P, syllable break. Ev, syllable break. E, silent final E. Persevere. Could I have Arianch mark the word?
And so in the first syllable, you underline earlier of her.
Excellent.
I think the second syllable is basic code.
Basically, but we're actually going to put a thinking cap on the E since it's an unstressed syllable. We say persevere. And then what's in the last syllable?
Underline the first E in the last syllable. And underline the R, double underline the silent final E, job number 1, and thinking cap E and R together.
Persevere. Actually, we're not going to thinking cap these. It's E, even though our controlled vowels kind of changed the pronunciation a little bit. Oh, Tig, your sisters are going to join class, it looks like. Thank you, Arianch, and it's a verb.
They want to say hi to you.
Oh, let me switch over to my camera.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hi, girls. Are you having a fun vacation?
I'm spelled M-A-E-V-E. Try to guess what that spells. That spells May. Sure, name spelled A-I-L-I-S,
Okay.
which is spelled top. English. Bye-bye.
Bye, girls. Good to see you both. Oh, I bet they keep life fun and interesting for you, Tig. Okay, let's move on to our next word. Word 2 is reproach. Would you all say reproach? This is possibly a new one for you, or maybe you've seen it in books but didn't really know much about it. It is similar to like disapprove. It's actually a good synonym for that. So when you hear that word reproach, it means like this look or expression of like, oh, I'm disapproved. I disapprove of what's going on, and I'm disappointed with what you're doing. Reproach. Like Eliza Jane would have done to Almanzo when he had the blacking go in the parlor wall, right? Her expression of disapproval and disappointment would be reproach. There's a look of reproach. Okay, sound out the word reproach with me. Reproach. 2 syllables. First syllable, E, 2 sounds. E is in an open syllable saying its name. Next syllable, P, O, Ch. Reproach. The O is O, the O of boat. And we've got Ch, which is ch, sh, ch, sh. Okay, reproach. Pick up your pencil and write it, please. Reproach. A look of disappointment. Can you all show me a look of reproach? Oh, Samhita and Kruthi, those are good looks of reproach. I think you might use that with your younger siblings sometimes.
Actually, lots of times.
Okay, reproach. R-E, syllable break. P-R-O-Ch. Reproach. Could I have Harika mark it for us? Don't know where she went. Okay. Maybe Alina, would you like to mark the word reproach?
Wait, did you say me? I can't hear
Yes.
you that
Yes,
clearly.
Alina.
Okay. Okay. So first you thinking cap the E.
Reproach. We're actually going to underline it. But actually, yeah. According to our manual, actually, they do say thinking cap as well because it's unstressed. We say reproach and kind of emphasize the second syllable. So good job. What else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you underline the OG of bow and the ch.
Perfect. This word can be a noun, like a look of reproach, or a verb, the action of like disapproving. Okay, noun or verb. Okay, our next word is one that's pretty simple. Rinse. Would you all say rinse? Do any of your parents tell you to rinse off a dish before you put it in the dishwasher? What else might you rinse? Might rinse yourself off after going to the beach? It's not a full shower, it's just kind of a light rinse. Dikshita?
You might rinse your dog.
Oh, yeah, you might have to rinse your dog off. Tyke?
Well, you could rinse. Well, all right. You could rinse your fish's tank.
Rinse what?
The fish tank.
Oh, yeah, you might have to rinse your fish tank out.
And sorry
Cleaning
about
it
my
out.
voice. I named myself Horse on the roller coasters.
I was about to guess. It would not surprise me that that's the case. Creepy?
Well, most of the time after my brother is done washing his hands, my mom would ask me to rinse his hands again just in case he did it properly or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's say the word rinse and sound it out. Rinse. One syllable. What are the sounds in the syllable? R, I, N, S. 4 sounds. That's all basic code, but we're going to also add a silent final E, job 5, to the end of it. The S rule. Pick up your pencil and write rinse. Marcus, once we're done writing the word, would you mark it for us? R, I, N, S. Silent final E. Check that your spelling matches mine, boys and girls. Oh, goodness. Okay, Alexander, would you mark the word for us?
Yeah. I'll try my best. Let's see. Just need to think through. Double underline the E. Job 5.
Good job. Yeah, that's the S rule. Otherwise, it looks like it's a plural word, rins.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay,
that's
Marcus, can you tell me what you think the part of speech is? Rinse. Is it a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, pronoun, conjunction, or interjection?
It's a verb.
Correct. Quite a few verbs in our lesson. Okay, Marcus, can I see that you've written the words so far? Persevere, reproach, and rinse. Hold it up as soon as you've got those 3 words. Okay, our next one is an interesting one. Our final word for today's lesson is treachery. Treachery. Does anybody know what this means? Long John Silver, I would say, was guilty of treachery in Treasure Island, for those of you reading that. Tig, what is treachery?
Crime.
Yeah, it's a type of crime. It's when you betray someone or your country, going against them. Just like in Treasure Island, there is a pirate who acted like he was fine, and then he betrayed his own people. Treachery. Okay, so it is a type of like being deceitful, deceptive, and like you betray your own people. Samhita?
He first of all said he was going to come with a flag of truce, and then he betrayed them again and started fighting against them. They were the first people to attack.
I know, he's guilty of a lot of treachery. Okay, let's sound out treachery. Treachery. 3 syllables. Sorry, we're going to mark it as treachery. 3 syllables. And the first syllable, we have t, ch. 4 sounds. The is e-a. Tre. And then we have ch, which is ch. The second syllable, treacher. Is earlier of her. And last syllable, e. The e sound you hear at an end of the word, at the end of a word is i-e. Treachery. Please pick up your pencil and write it. Treachery. Show me your word once you're done. Thank you so much, Tig. Treachery. Check that your spelling matches mine. And if it does not, cross out your word and rewrite it, please. Okay, Arshab, could you mark the word for us?
Underline the E-A.
Perfect.
And then underline the ch.
Good. Which sound of E-A is pronounced?
The second.
Good.
Then underline earlier of her.
Perfect.
Then on the next syllable, put a 3 on top of the Y.
Excellent. And this is a noun. We are going to be looking at an adjective form of this later, tomorrow specifically. Let's write these in cursive. We have persevere, reproach, rinse, and treachery. Please write them all in cursive, and then we're going to learn a new idiom since it is a Monday. Can I see everybody's cursive when you're done? Okay, for our idiom, we'll actually do 2 today. Because there was one from last week we didn't get to. So for the first idiom, let's write, let bygones be bygones. Has anybody heard this one before? Let bygones be bygones. Arshab, what does that mean?
Bygones be bygones mean, I think it means let it go.
Yeah, very good. Like, yeah, let it go, just move on. Kind of forget about how you are, like, don't be bittered. Forget about what happened in the past and just move forward. Here's our book has always examples of each of the idioms, and here's one for this. Dad hung up the phone and turned to face Marina. Your Uncle Alvaro and Cousin Paolo are in town, and I invited them to come to our house tomorrow. Oh no, not Paolo, groaned Marina. He pinches and he pulls my hair. Marina, that hasn't happened since you both were 4, her father reminded her. I think it's time you let bygones be bygones. That's a good way of using it. He hasn't pinched her and pulled her hair since they were 4. Maybe years have passed. You need to let bygones be bygones, meaning forget about what happened in the past and just move forward. Okay, and let's do one more idiom. For the second one, it's on its last legs. On its last legs. If you say something is on its last legs, it means obviously you wouldn't have like multiple pairs of legs, but it's like at the end of its life in whatever way. Something's about to break down. If there is a car that's making a lot of noises as it drives along and it's maybe 20 or 30 years old, that car, it's probably on its last legs, meaning there's not many more years or even months that it's still going to work. It's on its last legs. Do any of you have something at home that's on its last legs? Or maybe your parents do? Kruthi?
So we have this toy that's electronic, and my brother put it in the water a few days ago, and it's on its last legs because water went inside its like circuit probably, and yeah.
Yes, a very good example. Some of those kind of electronic toys and little devices that are on their last legs might start making weird noises. Like it used to have sound effects and then it has like muffled sound effects, and it's definitely on its last legs. Aryansh?
The computer that just crashed while in the middle of my map testing.
Oh, definitely.
That's already dead right now.
Yours is? Like you can't use it at all anymore? Yeah, I have a computer that I am about to get rid of and just replaced because it was definitely on its last legs. It took about 10 or 15 minutes just to like turn on. It was on its last legs. Does anybody else have something that's on its last legs? Arshad?
Mine is same as yours, Ms. Gardner. I have 2 computers that are on its last legs.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's time to recycle those old computers. Sometimes you can, like I need to send mine into Apple, and I already have the new one. And it's time to just let that old computer go. Okay, well, those are our idioms for today. 2 idioms. Let's hear one more from Marcus as we're about to transition over to some well-ordered language. Do you have something on its last
That's
leg?
on its last. Yeah, it's actually my desk. I've been using it for 3 years now. It's got a bunch of scratches on it everywhere.
Yeah, good point. Okay, well, for well-ordered language today, we'll do some jingles to review. And we are done with workbook pages for our unit, but we are going to work through some review problems for a compound verb review. On Wednesday, you'll have a test on compound verbs. So today and tomorrow, we'll just work through some review pages. I also have some pages posted for you to do for homework, or not pages, but sentences to analyze for homework. You'll be able to just do that on notebook paper, okay? Let's start with some jingles, though. We have talked about conjunctions quite a bit in this unit, and also verbs, obviously, since it's compound verbs. And also talking quite a bit about synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. So actually, that's going to be the main part of what we'll talk about in our review today. Okay, can you all stand up? It's time to move around a little bit. And let's do the conjunction jingle, and then we'll get to verbs as well. Stand up, everybody.
A conjunction is a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds. A conjunction is a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds.
So a conjunction is a part of speech that joins those compounds. What are some examples of conjunctions? Josiah, could you give me some examples of conjunctions?
For and nor, but or yet so.
Great job, all the fanboys. For and nor, but or yet so. Let's go over our verb jingle now. As we've been focusing on compound verbs joined with a conjunction.
A verb is a part of speech. A verb is a part of speech. A verb shows action or state of being. A verb shows action or state of being. A verb is a part of speech. A verb is a part of speech. A verb shows action or state of being. A verb shows action or state of being.
There's helping verbs now. A helping verb helps another verb to express its meaning. A helping verb stands near the verb. It is called an auxiliary. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, should, could, would, shall, will, and can. A helping verb stands near the verb, and it is called an auxiliary. Yes, helping verbs stand near the verb. It is called an auxiliary. So, verbs show action or state of being, and we know there are helping verbs too. Yes, Tig?
Give it up for the amazing dancing Twizzler man.
Oh, I like it. Twizzler man, can you dance along to the synonym, antonym, and homonym song next? That'll be our last one to review. I love the dancing from Alexander.
Synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms.
Synonyms are words that mean almost the same thing. Antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning of another word.
Homonyms are words that sound the same but have different meanings and sometimes spellings. Words that sound the same but do not mean the same thing. Synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms.
Here's our examples. Synonyms.
Little
and small.
Antonyms.
Short and tall.
Homonym. Through
Through the ball, walk through the mall.
Synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. Synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms.
Okay, so some of those examples were like little and small for synonyms, short and tall for antonyms, and for homonyms, through the ball, walk through the mall. Who can give me an example of some synonyms? Not cinnamon, synonyms. Kruthi?
It would be, wait. Oh yeah, it was big and like big and like enormous or humongous.
Yes, perfect. Big and enormous. Words that mean almost the same thing. Who can give me an example of two antonyms? Words that mean the opposite thing. Tig?
Tall and small, good and bad.
Very good. Aryansh, can you give us another example of antonyms? Words that have the opposite meaning.
Left and then right, because
Yeah, left and right.
they're opposite
Or
from each
if
other.
we say it in farmer boy terms, gee and haw, right? Where
What does "gi" actually mean? I think that's just some random word Almanzo made up because that doesn't sound correct.
no, it definitely doesn't. But it's just a. I know, it seems like they could have just taught them actually left and right, but they used a different farm word, which is a little more fun. And finally, homonyms. Words that sound the same, but do not mean the same thing. Kruthi, what are some homonyms?
Ball and ball.
Ooh, like Cinderella's
Like
ball.
like a dancing, maybe a ballroom, and a ball like the ball you play with.
Good. From our spelling, we've had 3 types of rain. Do you remember that? What are the 3 types of rain that we've learned? Alexander?
And I know another one, but yes, rain. Rain as it's raining. Rain is that you're reigning a kingdom, and rain as in. Hold on, let me think of the last one. Rain, rain, rain. Raining like a horse.
That's right, horse rains.
And then there's
Ooh.
another one. Air, air, and air.
Nice.
Because I'm an heir in the throne from ancient history.
Yeah, heir to the throne, air around us, and air like an error.
And voila, that is my game for today.
Tig is showing us a not. That's also a homonym. There's not.
Yes,
And
not. Like you
is
are
that why
not
you were holding that up?
Yes.
Oh, good example.
I also found it very impressive to tie a knot with a Twizzler.
I think that's impressive as well. Okay, boys and girls, let's start working through some of this review together. The first section is going to have a part of speech. We're going to match up with what the definition of that is. So with these, the jingles really help you the best. And then we're also going to do some synonym, antonym, and homonym review. Now, these ones at the bottom are what you're going to do on your own for homework, just on notebook paper, analyzing some sentences. Who can tell me number 1? Words that mean almost the same thing. Which of those words from the word bank? Rishith, what are words that mean almost the same thing? It's one of the words from the box up here.
Synonym.
Good. Synonym. And we'll delete that. What about number 2? Alina, can you do that one for us? It joins elements of the same rank or name.
Conjunction.
That's right. Kruthi, can you do number 3 for us?
Opposite meaning antonym.
Good. Words that have the opposite meaning of another word. Dikshita, could you do number 4 for us?
A verb.
Good. Shows action or a state of being. Which one helps another verb express its meaning? Oh, and it should not have an apostrophe there. When you have it's like possessive, you don't use an apostrophe, by the way. But if you're using it's like it is, it's time to go, that's when you use the apostrophe. Alexander, that's number 5.
It's a helping verb.
Helping verb helps another verb to express its meaning.
A hint of the next one. It starts with the H.
Okay, since it's the only one left, Alexander, I'll have you do that one too.
Homonym.
Homonyms are words that sound the same, but have different meaning and sometimes spelling. Great job. Okay, so that's part of your test on Wednesday, just to match up the part of speech with what the definition is. Next section here is to write an antonym for the following words. Write a synonym. Oops. This one is writing a synonym, and this one is going to be writing a homonym for the following words. Who can tell me an antonym for happy? Marcus, what's an antonym for happy?
Excited.
Ooh, that would be a good synonym. Remember, since synonyms are words that mean almost the same thing, antonyms have the opposite meaning. Can you think of something that's the opposite of happy? There's not just one right answer, but what is something that's the opposite of happy? Marcus? Marcus, but can you unmute yourself?
Sad.
Yeah, sad would be one.
Sad.
Oh. Now, drenched is next. Arshab, can you help out with that one? What would be the opposite of drenched, like drenching wet?
Dry clean?
Dry, good.
Yeah, dry.
Yeah, I think just dry would be good for that one. What is an antonym for awake, Rishith?
What's the question?
What's an antonym for awake?
Sleep.
Good. Asleep would make it the same part of speech. So we'll do that. Okay. For the sake of time, we'll skip over the last 3, but hopefully you can think of basically what we're doing here. Synonyms is next. Marmalade was a recent spelling word. Who remembers a synonym for marmalade? Samhita?
Jelly or jam.
Good. Jelly or jam? What about a synonym for intelligent? Ruthie?
Smart.
Good, smart. And we had drenched as an antonym. Now, drenched, what's a synonym for it? Ariansh?
Wet or not clean.
Good. Wet. Drenched does not have to do much with cleanliness. It just means wet. So next one, let's do some homonyms. Now, here's the word. We can say desert, like the Saharan desert, or desert, like a deserted island. What's the other type of dessert? Alexander?
This is dessert. Desert is desert as in a hot desert.
Good. So with one S, it's either desert, like a hot desert, or desert, like a deserted island, like leave something or someone behind.
More s'mores, less sand.
That's right. The other type of dessert with two S's sounds the same, but it means something different. It's talking about like something sweet, like Twizzlers.
Yep.
Dikshita, can you think of another type of there? This type of there is like their family is coming for vacation or for the holidays. What's another type of there?
Is there a cat there?
Is there a cat there? Good. We would spell that one T-H-E-R-E. There's also T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, like they're coming. We could replace it with they're coming over after school tomorrow. Okay, one more. Through. Sahanastri, what's the other type of through? This one's through, like we're going to walk through the hallway.
Okay, the other one is.
This is actually from our song. Can you remember? Through the ball, walk through the mall. So Sahanastri, is this spelling like through the ball or walk through the mall?
I'm thinking it's through the ball.
This is spelled like walk through the mall, going through something. So we could write the other type of through, like through the ball, which is spelled like this, T-H-R-E-W, right? That's like through the ball. Right? Okay, Harika, I'll have you actually do one as well, since I don't think you did before. What's homonym for horse? This is horse like the animal. Can you think of another horse?
Can it also be like a baby horse?
No, it needs to sound just like horse. Think of Tig, the way his voice sounds because of the roller coaster. Is that what you're going to say, Tig?
Yes.
So, Tig, say something for us.
Okay, can it just be something random?
Yes.
I walked through the mall yesterday to find that my favorite chocolate brand was all sold out.
Oh, Harika, do you hear how his voice sounds?
Yeah, the throat horse.
Yeah, like a hoarse voice. That's the way his voice sounds. It's kind of shaky. Do you know how we spell that one, Harika?
No, I forgot.
This was a spelling word before. We're going to use O, the O of boat in it. Okay?
Okay.
And Josiah, one more from you since I don't think you helped with one either before. Suite. This is like a hotel suite. What's another type of suite?
Like a sweet, like chocolate.
That's right, like something chocolatey or dessert. We spell that one. Can you spell it for us?
SWEET.
Perfect. What? EW always says E. Okay, and then right, like right hand or writing. Okay, you're going to do this part on your own for homework. And I'm also going to post some roots for you to make flashcards of today after class. But at this time, we're going to take out orthography notebooks to write down today's words. And then we'll start on some math today. We're going to be spending some time just doing review with math today. So not starting a new chapter yet. Okay. Can you all take out your orthography notebooks? What, Creepy?
I have one homonym, and also for right, you could do like you're right for this answer. You got it correct. Like right.
Yeah, very good.
And
So
also,
that would be spelled the same, but it means something different. And then there's write, like write your name. So there's 3 different ones really.
And also I have another one, like suit yourself and a suit that you wear.
Ooh, that's pretty creepy. Yeah, those 2 are spelled the same, but mean something different. So those are definitely homonyms. As a 4th type of right, there's some people have the last name Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, or maybe some of you have been to Wright's Barbecue, which is based off of a person's name. So that's so yummy.
What about the Wright brothers?
The Wright brothers, exactly, Kruthi. That's spelled the same way. Wright brothers and Wright's Barbecue. Aryansh?
That's exactly what I was going to say. The Wright brothers who invented the airplane
Airplanes.
in 1901.
Very good. Absolutely. Their name is spelled like this. W-R-I-G-H-T. So it's like your right hand, but with a W at the front. Tig? Do you love Wright's Barbecue?
No, it's not that. You know, Big Nate, the comic strip?
Which comic strip? Oh, Big Nate, you said? Yes.
Yeah. His last name is Wright.
Oh, perfect. Nate Wright. Okay, let's write our words. We have persevere, ear. After that, we have reproach. So Wright, like the Wright brothers, would be a good one. When we stop doing regular spelling lessons and we just do fun spelling lessons, that would be a good one to go over. Next is rinse. And finally, treachery. What's the cure, Tig? Water? Is that what you have? Okay, boys and girls, once you're done with that, we're not going to sort in any word, in any pages, but we're going to get into some math, and we'll actually do this cumulative review for chapters 13 to 15 today and tomorrow, which includes some graph questions, which I know we haven't actually done yet. We're going to get back to it, but we're going to do a little bit during the review even, since the math order has been kind of off. We've been bouncing back and forth in the book. So we're going to do a little bit of these bar graph. We'll do all of those pages together. And some of these review ones you're going to do on your own. Going over some fractions today and tomorrow. And measurements. Reviewing all of that. Okay. The first one right here, though, I want us to do together. Would you all turn to page 137 in your workbooks? 137. Okay, show me that you are on page 137 once you get there. Can I see your workbooks? Thank you, Tig, Arshab, Alexander, Josiah, Alina, and Sahanasri. Need to see everybody's workbooks. Marcus, where's your workbook, bud?
What page?
137. So some of these you're going to do on your own for homework. I was trying to figure out what we would need to do. It'll probably be 138 to 140. Some fraction review. Basically, this is all fraction review. And then you'll do some more pages for homework tomorrow. But all of these bar graph ones we're going to do together. Kruthi?
I think I accidentally already did this page.
Okay, that's fine. It happens sometimes. You can just make sure that you've got the right answers.
Okay.
Okay, so bar graphs. Now, who remembers doing some bar graphs in second grade? Did you guys do graphs in second grade? Good. And the only time this year that we've done it is with our owl pellets, actually. We made a bar graph. Remember? It's a really fun way to represent information visually so that you're not just looking at the numbers, but you can actually see, visualize which one has the most, which one has the least, like this. We're going to get back into this unit, which is chapter 13 in your workbooks. So we'll get back to that eventually. But I just want to go over some little mini lessons with you guys as we go through these cumulative review pages. So page 137, could I have Samhita read this concepts and skills, and let's think through what this graph is showing us.
Jessica is ranking and graphing her friends' favorite foods. Use the data in the tally chart to complete the bar graph, then answer the question.
Very good. So surveying means to look and observe and gather information. And graphing is how she's actually drawing it out. Do you guys know how to read tally marks? Okay, now every time there is 5, you go across the tally marks like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try that up at the top. Try that on your own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Practice that at the top of your page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's an easy way when you look through these to group groups of 5. And it's helpful for when you are slowly counting things up. Like if you are Jessica asking your friends what their favorite foods are, you're not going to just have all of the answers immediately at the same time. You'll slowly get them. So tally marks are helpful for those kind of situations where you're gathering more and more. Okay, so we can see she already has surveyed her friends, and we just need to complete the graph. How many people prefer sandwiches? How would we read this number? Alexander?
I just want to see all the answers, but 6 people.
Good. Marcus? How many people prefer pizza? That's their favorite food. Marcus, this shouldn't take too long. You just click unmute and you need to share your answer, okay?
18 people.
Not quite. Oh, I think you're looking at probably pasta. Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, I was
How many
looking
like
at
pizza best?
pencil. 12 people.
Great job. And like you said, pasta was 18. 5, 10, 15, 18. And salad is 15 even. Okay, now let's look down here at the bar graph. Now, at the bottom, it shows the number of friends, and along the top, it says kind of food. Some bar graphs are the opposite of that, where you've got the bars going vertically, but in this case, they're going to go horizontally. Now, notice here that it goes from 0 to 6 to 12 to 18 to 24. So what's the number for that middle between 0 and 6? Josiah? All of these are filled up to this line. And what is that? What number of friends would that equal? It's halfway between 0 and 6.
4.
It's actually 3, since 6 divided by 2 is 3. It's exactly halfway between the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it shows us skip counting of 6s, but really we can skip count by 3s, and there might be sometimes that we need to even be somewhere in the middle of a box. Right, so 0, 3, 6, 9. You can fill it in with extra numbers to help you out. 15 would go here, and what would come after 18? Halfway between 18 and 24, and remember we're skip counting by 3 here. Alexander?
24.
What comes before 24 though?
Oh, hold on. 21.
Perfect. Okay, so for sandwiches, there are 6 people who like sandwiches best. So we would fill it up and stop right there at the line.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So every box is plus 3, right?
Yeah, every line is skip counting by 3.
So would the sandwich go 2 times or just 1?
So the people who prefer sandwiches there's 6. So it would go all the way to 6. And this is the 6 line. So you fill up 1 extra box since they've already filled up to 3.
I get it. Okay.
Now, 12 people like pizza best. You guys see where 12 would go? Okay. Fill up all the way to 12 with me. Okay. So I do it kind of like that within the boxes, but I don't spend too much time filling out every single part of it. You're also welcome. We'll not do it really in this unit, but when we do bar graphs, it's sometimes nice to use colored pencils so that you can visually see a difference that way too. Okay, Samhita, where would salad be filled up to?
Salad would be filled up to 15.
Good. Do you know how you would do that on your bar graph, and could you show me?
Actually, I already filled it in.
Good. Okay, can you show us? Perfect. You did all of them. Okay, so all the way to 18. This is 18.
18? I thought it was 15. And I already
Oh, sorry,
did it.
15. You're right. Thank you. I was thinking of pasta. So there's salad up to 15. And pasta should be up to 18. Everybody please do that one. Pasta all the way to 18. Okay, and then let me see all 4 of these graphs filled out. Well, it's one graph, but all 4 foods. Great job, Harika. And it goes from smallest to largest in this one, but it wouldn't have to be that way.
Miss Gardner, what's your favorite food in this chart?
Out of those options, I love salad, but I also love pizza. Actually, it sounds best to have a combination of a meal with pizza and a salad on the side.
I like pizza.
But if I had to choose one, probably salad.
I choose pizza.
Yeah. Who else would choose pizza? Oh, sounds like it's the majority. Would anybody choose sandwich? Not as many. Who would choose pasta? Nice. Okay, let's fill out pasta all the way to 18. That's the most popular one. Pasta's not my favorite. Aryansh?
The pasta that I have doesn't taste good at all. For some reason. Like they put ranch over it. And that tastes horrible. That's why I hate pasta. I like pizza more than any other of these.
Yeah.
And definitely not a sandwich.
Does your mom make pasta sometimes that has ranch on it?
No, it's either store-bought pasta or it's my dad makes them.
Uh-huh. And you like pizza better?
I really have it. Anyway. And most of all the time I have pizza.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm eating a food I don't like, I try to make it better by adding random things to it. So one time I was eating plain pasta spaghetti. I didn't like it because it was so flavorless. So I put salt on it. But I accidentally put too much salt on it.
Oh, that's the worst. How'd you fix that?
Oh, I spit out what I put in my mouth.
I know, once you put too much salt on it, you can't really go back.
So it was hard to eat the rest of it.
I bet. Okay, boys and girls, can you flip over to page 144 now? You'll be doing some of these pages that we skipped over for homework, but they're all different things that we've done before. A lot of fractions. Good review on fractions. Josiah, could you read what it says about Miguel at the top of page 144?
Miguel
44.
Miguel concluded a survey to find the number of hours that some students spend playing their favorite sport each week. He recorded the data on a table.
Good. So think about what's happening here. It's all about favorite sports. And instead of tally marks, it actually tells us the number that has that favorite sport. So 4 people like gymnastics best. Oh, actually, sorry, number of hours. I wasn't reading that carefully enough. It's the number of hours that people spend with each of these sports. So 4 hours on gymnastics, 6 hours on football, 8 hours on swimming, and so on. That's how many hours they spend playing it. Now we are going to do what's called a line plot based off of it. Let me show you what a line plot looks like. A line plot is helpful in times like this where we've got several different things that have the same number. A line plot is a great way to show that information. Has anybody seen a line plot like this before? Maybe you've done that in 2nd grade. So you've got a bunch of numbers at the bottom and then X's to represent how many people have that. For example, number of children in each family. There are 3 families that have just 1 child. 4 families have 3 children. Okay, so what we'll do for this line plot, and it says that we've got to give it a title too, is we're going to write numbers for the different hours spent on each of these sports. Notice we've got 4. Did anybody play 5 hours? Alexander?
No, but I just want to say, I have done the X things in a game called Treachery. Like, it made me go through that unit for 3 months.
Excellent. Well, we're just doing a little overview. We'll get more into detail once we start this whole chapter. Okay, but what we're going to do is at the bottom, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the different numbers of hours. And our title is Number of Hours. Now, even though we know nobody spent 5 hours, we're just going to go in order. Marcus, are you on page 145? Can I see your workbook, bud?
Was this in math?
Yeah, and Marcus, I'm afraid you're going to have more to do for homework since you're not doing it together with us. So can you really quickly get this out so that you don't have to do it on your own later? Marcus, you've got to move faster so that you don't have to do this for homework, okay? This is your math workbook. And like I said, we're on page 145. Now, we're going to use both of these pages. Can you see how many different sports had 4 as an answer for number of hours? How many sports had that? Aryansh?
I put all the data on the line plot, and there's only one sport that people spent for 4 hours.
Good. You're right. There was only one, gymnastics. So we're only going to put 1x on top of 4. Okay, can you all do that? Right, 1x on top of 4. Now, nobody said 5 hours, so we're not going to put any x's there. We're just going to leave it blank. Can I see everybody's pages so far that you should have a label for your line plot and 1x on 4 so far. I know some of you might have worked ahead a little bit, and that's fine if you've worked ahead a little bit, but you should have at least this information so far. Thank you. Again, number the bottom of it, put number of hours and 1x there, or some of you have done a little extra, which is great if you feel confident in doing that. Okay, who can tell me how many people said they spent 6 hours on a sport? Basically, count up all of the 6s you see in this chart. How many 6s do you see, Dikshita?
I see 5.
Good. Did everybody, for anybody who's also figured that out, did you get 5 as well? I see Alexander gave a thumbs down, Kruti gave a thumbs up. I see different answers. So let's go through, see how many 6s there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, I got 6 6s on the table. Did anybody else get 6?
Yep.
Okay, so I think that you missed one of those, Dikshita, it looks like. But it's always good to double check. So what we're going to do is put 6 x's on top of the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 x's on top of the 6. And like you might guess, we'll do the same thing for 7s. Count up how many 7s there are in the table. Let me know once you find the answer. How many 7s are in the table? I see Alexander holding up his answer. Alina's holding up her answer. They're showing 2 fingers. Who agrees with that? 2 7s? Are there 2 7s in the table? Yeah. So that means 2 x's over the 7. And finally, the 8. How many 8s were in the table? I see Alexander holding up 3 fingers, so are Sahanasri and Alina. Let's see, I'm checking it, and I also got a 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to finish this up we're going to finish this up in class tomorrow because there's also some questions to answer based off of what we just plotted in our line plot. Now, the pages that you're going to do for homework today are some fraction review pages, specifically page 138 through 140. Okay? And I'm going to add that to Bright Thinker right now. So that's all you're going to be doing. It's only some fraction problems other than this one little section is a review of inches and half inches. Okay? Should be nothing new. This is just some review time. Any questions before we move on to some reading groups? No? Okay. Well, it's great to see everybody. I'll add that information to Bright Thinker ASAP. And if nobody else has questions, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Tig, enjoy Legoland.
Thank you. I'm gonna make myself even more.
tournament.
Ruthie, did your brother already finish
Even
podcast?
more wars.
My tennis tournament. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
good
Miss
luck, Alexander. Bye, Samhita. Yes, Ariane?
And Legoland was an